where I was exposed to women who knew how to treat a man because mom and dad was married her whole life, and she knew how to be how to be ladylike, how to be compassionate, how to be loving, and different things that I think that some cultural dynamics hinder people from being exposed to and experiencing. And so that became attractive. That became a necessity. I wanted to start over. I wanted to have a life that I didn't have. I wanted to be exposed to things that I didn't have. I wanted to be exposed to family dinners that I didn't have. And the grandma and grandpa been together, mom and daddy been together, everybody in the same family, everybody got the same kids. It becomes appealing to young African American men who come into college and be exposed to a life that they could not have previously and that they were not exposed to. So now, and again, I want to preface that it's more about culture and less about race. And so you get indulged in this culture and you realize that this culture is something that you think is better for you. It's more conducive to your success and your happiness. And then you never go back. You never go back, and that is now the standard. And it typically ends up being more white women.
Yeah, so that's Officer Tatum explaining why he likes white women more than black women. All right, let me just get this out. That's Officer Tatum explaining why he likes white women more than black women. That was done in 2017, and there was something interesting about that when I was watching it, because I remember I had a similar experience, not with white women, but I remember I went to a predominantly white school when I was going to university, and my parents were very strict because it cost them a lot of money. And I remember getting introduced to the lifestyle of a lot of white people. And this is the difference between guys like me and guys like Tatum, because everything I saw there, I said, everything I saw with white people, with their houses, their lives, the way they lived, I said to myself, I want to see black people have this as a community, as a landscape generally. That's what I said to me. I didn't go there and say, oh snap, look at all these ish white people got. I want to jump over the fence and go live with them. And I guess that's why he speaks the way he does. I mean, he recently just made a video, no lie. I might put it in the description below. He made a video saying when he's amongst white people, he's embarrassed to be black, that he feels he has to go to them and tell them he's not one of the stupid black people. He made a video saying that, no lie. Literally, this just came out. This was his video he put out yesterday. What was the discussion about the black, when he was talking about the black man who got killed for almost attempting to shoot a police officer. He said he based on that criminal, he's ashamed of his whole race, and when he's amongst other white people, he wants to let them know he's not one of the stupid black people. He when they see he's black, he wants to tell them he's not amongst the stupid black people. And that's the difference, okay? I'll see something like that, I'll be like, that's one stupid black person. It doesn't make me ashamed of my black people, from Africa to Brazil, to all around the world, to America, to Jamaica. I can never be ashamed to be black. I don't care how many white people are around me. From the moment I was born to the day I will die, I will never be ashamed to be black. I will never have to explain my blackness to nobody. And these are the people that want to be the face of the Republican Party, or the black people. They want to be the face of the black people of the Republican Party. I want to make this clear. I support Trump. You know, people like him. There's another guy called David J. Harris. He's the left guy on this video. Made a video about 1 month ago when the riots was going on. You know, the moment where white people were kissing black people's feet. And he was crying on Facebook and apologizing to white. He was literally crying that white people were kissing black people's feet. Now, I'm not saying I want to see that. I'm not saying I care about it. I'm not into any white person coming to kiss my feet. I will never demand it. I will never call for it. But would I cry when I see it? I mean, I saw it and I was laughing. I thought it was stupid. I thought, no, I mean, we don't need people kissing our feet. There are things we want, but it's not kissing our feet. But he was crying about it. These are the guys that feel they don't even feel they're speaking on behalf of their community. They're trying to tell the white people that they're the voices for black people. They're trying to reflect the voice, of black people. And the question is, does Trump share the same views as these people? Because I just came off debunking a video with another one of them, Anthony Brian Logan, ABL, and he was blaming the situation of of the killings and everything on the dads who are not at home. That's what he was blaming it on. All these guys have blamed it on dads. Candace Owens blamed it on dads when she was talking to Ken Face. Officer Tatum has blamed it on dads many times. In fact, that video where he's talking about why he likes white women, yep, he was talking about dads out of the home. David J. Harris, all of them have blamed black problems on the fathers out of the home. Now, there's something about that rhetoric that sounds familiar because I've never heard Trump blame black people's problems on dads. But guess who's blamed black people's problems on dads before? Obama has. When Obama was speaking to the crowd of black people, I can't remember which university it was, but you can Google it. He blamed that he did nothing for black people, did nothing for our community, and he blamed our problems on dads not being in the house. So these guys are speaking the same language as Obama. But what these people don't want to factor in is that the culture of dads not being in the house is being created by the welfare state. Because the welfare state tells the woman that we're not going to give you that welfare check, we're not going to give you that welfare building, that public housing, if you've got a man in there with you. So you have a situation where you have this welfare state that looks after single mothers, which means that if a woman is poor and she has kids, she's going to sacrifice having a man in the house to reap the benefits of a welfare state. The question is, where does the welfare state come from? Because you cannot go to a affluent community and create a welfare state there because they don't need your money so bad that they will sacrifice the fathers of their kids. Do you understand what I'm saying? They won't sacrifice the fathers of their kids for a check because they don't need it. So we know that when women have a resourceful life, they then tend to value the presence of a man more. In fact, when they don't have a resourceful life, they do value the presence of a man, but at this stage, they're being made to choose between a welfare check and a man, which is a policy that's created by the Democrats. And what does Trump do? Trump comes in and says, more employment. Trump brags on black employment. Trump has never blamed any aspect of crime based on dads out of the house. He understands that all of these things are economically tied. That's why Trump works to lower unemployment and increase employment. And Trump always brags about it when he's talking about the black community. He prides himself in increasing employment in the black community. So as we can see, Trump takes a different view when it comes to understanding black people's problems. He understands that the Democrats and their failed policies is what has impoverished black people, which is the root to the problems that we're facing. So when he talks about the black communities, he starts from there. He doesn't talk about the dads are missing and there's a culture of black people who want to be stupid and this and that and this. No, he understands black people are human beings like anybody else. And he understands that they have been targeted, used and abused by the Democrats. So when you think about it, Officer Tatum, when it comes to black people, Officer Tatum, Candace Owens, David J. Harris, Anthony Brian Logan, and all those other House Negroes, they're actually on the same page as Obama. They're actually on the same page as Obama. The only time that they're opposed to Democrats is when they want to pander to white people. Like, I want to make it clear, I don't want to even use that term self-hating anymore. I don't want to use that term self-hating anymore because I don't think it applies to all of them. I think it applies to some of them, but I think a general word would probably be white panderers because that's what they do. They're here, they've built a whole career just to come online to let you white people know that any conflict you've had with black people are in the wrong. Whether it's historical, whether it's present. I mean, there's a video currently out with white people about to hang a man by a noose. And you won't see any of these Negroes talk about it. You won't see neither one of them talk about it. There's a video where a black man was complying with the police and the police from behind just started punching him in the head. I'm sure we've all seen this video. Officer Tatum, Candace Owens, none of them have talked about it. They won't talk about anything where white people or the police are clearly in the wrong. Because they're here to pander to you. They're making money off you racist. You racist people think that they really believe in what they're saying. They're pandering to you. It's a job. It's a job. They're making their money. And when you come to think about it, Trump doesn't share the same views as them. Trump doesn't share the same views as them. When you come to how they speak, Trump was on Method Man's album. Trump was in Drake's video. Trump was in the hip hop community. Trump is not here as a racist. That whole racist perception that they've painted on Trump, that was just created by the Democrats to break the black vote away from Trump. So when you come to think about it, what are these Negroes on? Like you guys are not the face. I'm always going to say this. Black people, you can support the Republicans, you can support Trump without supporting the views of these Negroes. These Negroes, there is nothing, I will always say this, there is nothing in the Republican manifesto on the Republican website that says, here is our relationship with black people. There's nothing like that. In order for you to want to be a Democrat or a Republican, you look at their political views, you look at their political objectives, their promises, and then you vote upon that. You look at what your people need based on where you live or who you're related to and how that's going to help you. If this one says we want to push for more government, if this one says we want to push for a welfare state, if this one says we want to push for free schools, whatever this one says, you have to look at your situation as an individual and as a people because you do live amongst your people. So however things affect your people affects you, and then you make a decision. And in none of these manifestos does it have a race relationship unless the person running for office particularly speaks on race. So when these people come on the net to talk as if their perspective and their views is the general views of black people or the relevant views for black people to be involved in the Democrat or the Republican Party, you have to stand up to them and say, no, you said A, B, and C, that was right, but you said D, E, and F, that was wrong. I can support Trump, and I can still understand that my people were under attack politically. All right. Don't think you had this slavery, then you had Jim Crow, then you had the bombing of the Black Wall Street of Tulsa, the black people. Then you had J. Edgar Hoover with that operation was the name for it. Whatever their operation is, where they planted all these drugs in the black communities. Then you had the crime bill by Bill Clinton and what have you. And then you, all of a sudden, these black people want to come and tell you, because of their inner self-hate, they want to come and tell you that, no, the black community is not under any attack and you're just some crazy lunatic that wants to make excuses for yourself. I don't get it. Oh, man. Anyways, the bottom line is, no, these people are not on the side of Trump. They don't speak the same language as Trump. They're here to pander to white people. They're businessmen and businesswomen, and they're in the business of selling their people out for some of that clout. That's they're selling you out for the clout. That's all it is. If this was slavery once again, these would be the people on top of it. These will be the people who would be on top of the chain, who would be on top of the ring, selling our black people, because they love this money. They always say, "Buy my T-shirt," sign up to this, do this, donate this money. They love this money. So we got to be careful, because I don't want it to be a situation where we go to that Democratic Party that is really the deep state and the elite that wants to really do some damage around the world. I don't want black people to throw their support on them. I want black people to support Trump. If it means you're supporting the Republican Party, go ahead, support the Republican Party. But I don't want you to feel that to be a black Republican, you have to start adopting these white pandering views that Officer Tatum will come on screen and justify slavery, justify Jim Crow, tell you that you have to be embarrassed to be black when walking amongst these white people who've done so much atrocious shit across the world. Like, fine, I don't care if anyone is friendly or has a lot of white associates, or if you want to date a white person, or even if you love them, like, there's no problem with that. But never, ever, ever, ever in your long-legged life hold your head down as a black man in front of anybody in this world. And that's my message. I gotta get some sleep.